That's great, Mahima. Thank you for sharing your journey. So, tell us a little bit more about your family and where you've come from, and why it is that Switzerland is so dear to you now.
Switzerland came into my life in a very odd way because my father, who left our family when I was 5 years old, my sister was just a year older than me, and the last time we heard from him, he was in Switzerland, and I was about 11 years old. We got this letter from him in Switzerland. He was a musician, so I guess he was traveling around making music. And then my sister and I got that letter. We wrote back, but never heard anything from him. So that was the first time Switzerland sort of popped into my life. The second time it came back into my life was when I was 18 and met a Swiss guy, fell in love, started being together with him. We ended up coming back to Switzerland. We ended up getting married, living in Switzerland for about 8 months until he got relocated back to Zimbabwe. We went back to Zimbabwe, and fast forward another like 10 or even 15 years. And I hadn't actually lived in Switzerland, even though I had the Swiss citizenship. I was like a global citizen, and I was traveling all over the world, teaching and enjoying and finding myself and so forth. And when my sister actually came to visit me when I was on a tour traveling, she met a Swiss guy, fell in love with him. They're still together today. They live at the Thunersee, as they said, in Thun, in the Bern canton. And she started living in Switzerland. When my mom passed away, my sister was the closest relative to me, so I came to Switzerland. So we live in Switzerland, and Switzerland is a fantastic place to be. It's odd how it has popped up in our lives in such a bizarre way. But our business is here. My closest family, which is my sister, is here, and my husband, who's German, also loves to be in Switzerland, and his parents happen to live in Switzerland as well, so it's just an obvious choice for us to come and be in Switzerland. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's lovely. That's fantastic. Well, great story. So, so tell us a little bit more then about so your transition from your journey to creating the business that you have, and doing all the amazing work that you're doing now. Tell us about the catalyst for that and how that kind of that transition happened.
Okay, so after I'd been in the Osho ashram for about 6 months, I figured a live guru, somebody who was in his physical body, because I wanted to learn more about all this stuff that I was learning about consciousness, about awareness, about who am I, answering the question, who am I, understanding the depth of beingness. So I found this teacher, and when I first met him, after a couple of months, he said to me, you should give satsang. Satsang was these kind of meetings that he would hold. It was called satsang. And he suggested that to me, but this awareness in the world. So it took me a while, some few years, to catch up with that, seed that he planted in my heart. And I started to just pursue more of what I love. The first thing that became clear to me after what I call my awakening is that I wanted to be free. I wanted to live a free life doing what I love, traveling, just not having constraints like the normal society tells you only this type of life is possible. So the first thing I decided is I'm going to be an entrepreneur. And so I started opening up little businesses. One of the first things I remember doing with a friend of mine was creating a yoga and meditation clothing range. And we would design stuff and we'd go shopping, get the stuff made and sent it to Canada. And that was our first entrepreneurial trip that we were on. and we ended up being able to sell some of these clothes, but we didn't make any money, but we didn't lose any money. We kind of even Stevens the whole thing. And that was like my first journey into an entrepreneurial path. Once I tasted that, I was like, I just want to continue. I'm an entrepreneur. So I just continued learning, doing things that I love. I'm an artist. I made music. I explored working together with people already since I was 26. I started teaching. And so it's been just developing over many years. I'm 47 today. And it's just developed over many years that I became super clear at one point when my teacher died that teaching and spreading this amazing news into the world and just showing people that there's so much more inside of you than you've previously been taught. That became so important to me. And I've dedicated my adult life to teaching and learning and growing.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really wonderful. So really, that's a great story. And I love that you just you've gone with what's felt right, and that you just want to do what you want to do. It is that feeling, isn't it? I mean, to do a job that you love doing and being around the people that inspire you, it's the dream job, really. It's really listen to your calling. And so for how long have you been now, because you have, so tell us about the Mahima mindset and all of the great work that you do, and especially I'm interested to know more about the retreats as well. It sounds great.
Okay, so the Mahima mindset it's a philosophy on understanding yourself in the deepest way that you can investigate yourself. The first thing we have a 7-step formula. We've created a training called the Own Your Superstar training. And in this training, it is 7 steps that we explore. The first step is self-love. Without that as a foundation, you basically will have a lot of trouble in your life. If you're not able to embrace every part of who you are, the good, the beautiful, the intelligent, the wonderful, the insecure, the lack of confidence, the doubting, like able to just take yourself in your own arms, be in your own company and feel, I love being with you. But there is a soul, a spirit inside of me that's whole and not broken. And that was what changed for me. When I met these teachers, I was only focused on my ego mind. Like going to church every Sunday, I hadn't felt or connected to what I call spirit, source, soul in that way that I connected to it. So meditation is definitely the catalyst and the instrument that we use to help people explore deeper levels of self-love and self-awareness. Then we move to genius alignment, meaning figure out what everybody in this world has a gift. Whether you're good at dancing, music, listening to people, coaching, mentoring, learning with your mind, PhDs, doctors, masters, figure out what you love and give yourself permission to start getting at what you're good at. Most of the society is teaching us to look at doing things that aren't truly our real gifts, because the question is, how do you make money from that? How are you going to survive from that? How are you going to live from that, right? So you follow a path which is a practical path, but it disconnects you from the feeling of your real genius or calling, right? So we help people to figure out what is it that you're truly passionate about and you just love and that you're good at. Once we figure that out, we can move to creating a mission. What do you want to do in the world with this talent? So you've got this great talent. How do you want to direct that talent in the world? What's your mission? What's the thing that's going to not be about you, right? Because when we're serving, that's when we're alive, and that's when we truly feel connected and happy, when we're helping somebody or in some way helping the planet, helping animals, helping humans. That's when we feel good about ourselves, right? So we help people create a mission around that. And then we talk about fear is the fourth step, transcending fear, because the first thing that comes up when you discover who you are, what your true gift is, what your real mission is if you're not already aligned with it, it can be very scary, right? Like, how do I start moving into this direction? So we start to help people to understand fear, work with it, become friends with it, and to evolve so that fear doesn't stop them from being able to make those changes to align themselves with their genius and the mission. Is this all making sense so far?
Yeah, totally making sense. Totally.
Okay, awesome. And then we talk about upgrading your relationships. That's the fifth element in the Own Your Superstar training, because who you surround yourself with is going to make a huge impact on what you think you're capable of achieving and doing in your life, right? So it's very important to start creating relationships with people that are either at the same level as you or further. So we call it upgrading your relationships. Also learning communication skills and learning to understand more about where people are in their growth process so that you can create deeper bonds and connections with people by having more empathy and compassion with them. So we have that. That's the fifth element. Then we go, the sixth step is, so let me see, we've got the, what is that sixth element? It is, I'm drawing blank right now for some reason, but it's coming to me right now. It is creating a powerful vision, okay? So being able to think outside of what the society told you was possible. Like for me, when I started that journey onto, creating this life that I'm living today, I had to throw away everything that people believed was possible for me. If I listened to my teachers or even my family, I would never, ever have the business I have, the lifestyle I have, the things I've accomplished, right? So I had to create a bigger vision for myself. And you need to be able to think about that vision or else you can't create it, right? And then the last step, the seventh thing, is abundance, to embody abundance, right? And to understand that it's okay to be abundant on every single level, financial, spiritual, and to understand how abundance works. So those are the 7 steps in our, let's say, Mahima Mindset Own Your Superstar training. And we just take people through those steps and just help them reconnect to a more powerful version of themselves.
Okay, wow, sounds really fascinating. And is that done, so how is that presented? Is it done on campus, so to speak, with you, or virtually over a certain amount of weeks or months, or how does that work?
So it is we have different touch points. For example, the first time people meet us is at a free event, actually, a 2-hour free event. And then from there, if they like what they're feeling, if they like what they're experiencing, we invite them to a 3-day event, which takes place right now in Stockholm and also here in Zurich, and we'll be opening up also maybe something in Germany next year. And this 3-day event is time for you to deep dive some of the 7-step formula with us and decide if it feels like a match from both sides to continue working together. And there we will invite people to a 12-month mentorship journey. And in this 12-month mentorship, it depends on what you want to, how much contact you need, what you need in the process. Some people, they need hand-holding, they need to have one-on-one sessions in there. Some people just want to have the group experiences. We have online forums, we have a community. So you have all the touch points that you need to be able to experience the let's say, the deeper levels of the transformation. So we do online stuff in groups, we do online stuff one-on-one, we do live group trainings over weekends, like we have a weekend training, something's coming up just now, where it's from Saturday and Sunday, like the whole day, with a group of amazing people and trainers, and we do that as well. So there's really all the different touch points. If people don't like online, then they have live sessions, but we advise everyone to just dive into everything that we offer, like get into the online stuff, because you don't always have the time for the live face-to-face. And it's about connections and relationships, and it's really about the people you're going to meet on this journey. You're going to meet yourself in a way that you've never experienced yourself before, and then you're going to start to make incredible friends with other people that are looking to up-level the game that they're playing, and let's say leave behind that version of themselves that feels disempowered, insecure, lacking confidence, confused about the direction you're going. And we've all been there, but the shift that happened for me was being able to take help, take guidance, not feel like I needed to solve this on my own. And I continue to take support. I continue to be coached and mentored. And I love having people in my life that force me to examine myself, re-examine again. Is that true? Because you draw these lines, you draw these limitations. Oh, that's not possible. Or I can't reach that. And just to have people that keep showing you, that's not true. It's just not true. It's a thought in your head. It's an idea that has been planted from, very far back in the past. We've all got this stuff that we've conditioned in from a child, right? So just to keep asking for help, receiving it, and getting to the next level. I think that's really the magical key in this personal growth world, is to not try to do it on your own. Get the help you need. Get someone to help you.
Mm-hmm. Totally, 100%. I 100% agree. And it sounds like the way that you've thought, the formulas that you have, there's something for everyone, which is wonderful. So, and in terms of the retreat, is that something that changes all the time, or is that part and parcel of what you've described?
Exactly. The retreat is part of the 12-month mentorship program. So you can either, because you, as I said, everyone can come in at the different touch points. And so, you can get